Tuesday, November 9th, all remains not so quiet on our western front. What is the latest situation in Dak and then in Kanchanaburi?
The latest situation in the afternoon, actually, just hours ago, some 60 or 70 displaced persons who fled from fighting in Myanmar yesterday now returning home because the Thai authority doesn't want them to live any longer.
What is the manner of their return?
Well, actually, because the government troops have regained control over Myanmar township after a group of the KBA insurgency and the armed fighters of the minorities had retreated. They moved southward to Pok Park, somewhere near Kanchanaburi, where that situation still tense. But in reality, the situation quite today we can say that it's quiet.
So these displaced person, they went home voluntarily, so to speak.
No, basically the authorities say that they volunteer to go home where they come from just only a day ago. But some of them, perhaps 30 or 40% are still quite sure.
They're not happy. They're still not happy to return. Okay.
Yeah, we can say that they're still worried about the situation because actually the insurgent or the armed minority, they're still active in the area of Myanmar and nearby because we call that this current state. One of the active armed insurgents still there. So it could be happen anytime. And that's the situation in Meso. But in Kanchanaburi nearby,
the trouble spot today.
Today, the fighting still going on since yesterday. There is some M79 grenades land also in Thailand again, but hurt nobody. But the number of the displaced persons fleeing from the fighting there, now the number is reaching 3,000 already now living in the school nearby the Three Crocodile Pass. They also still worried a bit that I think the situation might be happen like this for a number of days, maybe a few days from now, until I don't know because the minorities group they are still active and the troop of the government will try to take control absolutely. That's the reason.
How many of the displaced person that crossed the border into Thailand? How much percentage of them could have been economic migrants?
Well, they actually mix up already because we already know that in the area of near Meso particularly, the fighting is going on time to time. They going
every year.
Every year, actually.
But this year
many times a year.
Many times a year.
They come to work in Meso. Sometimes they go on and off. They come to work in the morning, go back in the evening.
And they allegedly paid to cross the border into Thailand also.
Yeah, I mean somebody bring them up, and that's why because I think some of them might be mixed up with the displaced persons who flee from the fighting, and we take this opportunity to find job in the country because we already know that in Burma there is no economic activity at all, or difficulty at their home. So that's why it's coming on time because in Kanchanaburi situation it's pretty clear that because the authority try to control to prevent their sneak out from the shelter into the Kanchanaburi township. So to seek job. That's why that's the reason why perhaps I think critic also posted the criticism on Thailand authority that we last to send them back. This is the most worrisome for the Thai authorities. We cannot control the number because we have already, 2 million workers, 100,000 already as displaced person who flee from fighting already in the country.
In Dak province.
Mostly in Dak. Some in Kanchanaburi, but mostly in Dak.
You say that the fighting goes on in the area all the time, but the fighting that has erupted over the past few days, do you think it had to do with Myanmar politics or it had something to do with Western interest in the area?
Well, we can say that's a kind of political economy of the minority as well. We can say that because the group, the armed group, many of them has already signed ceasefire agreement
with the Burmese
with the Myanmar government, and with that, they got some concession, like mining, some get fishery, some get forestry concession. The DKBA also, they actually siding with the government for 10 years, I think. But after the new policy to include them into the border guard under the supervision of the military,
they're not happy about that.
They're not that happy because they will lose their independence. They will lose also their concession, the right to maybe getting tax or.
So it partly had to do with independence and partly had to do with the interest.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the main problem. I think the Burmese authority had to think through about this. They just call the people come into their power. No, it's because they are also need some kind of their right. Meaning the economic right as well. So that's why I think this is the original of the trouble. This comes from their interest rather than the pure politics. So
this seems not going to end quite easily as we first initially thought. And as far as the illicit government is concerned, the longer the problem of this displaced person linger, the worse would be for the Thai government politically. But for the world, we think the focus will be on this Saturday when the Burmese government is scheduled to release Aung San Suu Kyi. We'll see whether that will happen or not.